Right. Here we are, video number 6. This is going to be 2 panels, 12 inches by 36 inches. It's going to be a diptych. I'm going to have 2 long narrow pieces. I'm going to be doing it in the same colors. In fact, I'm going to be running the open cups right over each canvas together as if it's one piece, and then I'll separate them afterwards. So for now, I'm going to just put my white coat of paint. We're going to be trying for a lot of negative paint, negative white space today, and minimal color. Doesn't, as you know, does not always work out that way. I'm just going to just put paint in my glasses. I'm going to spread the paint around, give us a nice even coating of the base coat. Remember, we use the base coat to move the paints. If we don't have a good base coat, the canvas is going to be dry and the paint is not going to flow. That is why it's called fluid painting, fluid art. You can hear a little bit of that scraping on the canvas as I do it. These are gallery wrapped, 2-inch gallery wrapped deep boxed canvases. The ones that do not need to be framed. And where the paint that goes over the sides creates the part of the pattern. Let's just make sure all the sides are covered. You've got good coverage everywhere. This is a mixture of Artist Loft's acrylic paint and some house paint conditioner, the Minwax, which gives it a little bit of depth, a little bit of kind of different chemical reactions, different ways that it dries. It's always exciting to see how the paint is going to come out, because it very seldom comes out how I envision it in the beginning, or what I think about is going to happen, or anything like that. Right, we've got a good even coverage of the white paint here. I'll just dry my hands for a second, and I will blowtorch. Here we go with the noise. Get rid of all the bubbles. Yeah, my blowtorch is stopped. Alright, let's get rid of all of the bubbles. I'm going to add another light here so we get some better lighting. That's better. You can see painting's nicely covered. Right, now we're going to use the open cups. We're going to use 2 small cups today. I'm going to cut off the ends and create my open cups. Use that scissors. There we go. Simply cut off the end of the cup, making it an open cup. I'm going to use 2 of those. Remember, the open cup serves as kind of like a, almost like a swiping tool, because as you move it along the paint, it creates a swipe. So I'm going to put one over here, and I'm going to kind of move on the diagonal over both of the painting, over both of the boards to get a nice odd effect. I see a couple more bubbles over here. All right, so I'm going to put a nice blob of paint around the open cups to create a pool that'll create the cells. Nice thick set around there. Oh, and as you can remember from the last open cups, we do kind of a high drop into the open cup. This is the beautiful aquamarine blue that I did put some extra cerulean blue and some Prussian blue into it. So it's a nice deep blue. Blue is my favorite color. But this is a little bit thick. I'm going to put a tiny drop of water in it to thin it down. Just a little bit. Alright, that's good. Nice consistency. Now I'm going to lay the paints in the open cups. Drop it from a nice high distance to get it into the paint. I want it to actually sink into the pool of paint around the cup. The blue. Let's then go with a contrasting color. We'll do with our 24 karat gold. Oop, don't move, cup. Stay where you are. Nice blob of thing. gold. Let's go for our black to cause a little bit of contrast. Always like adding a little bit of black on the white. Whoops. Hold the cup in its place. Missed the cup a little bit, but that doesn't really matter. I'm going to put some of this beautiful blue aqua green. Remember we used this in the mermaid, mermaid theme painting. It was really pretty. It came out a lot better than I expected. You can see parts of it down behind me. Oh, this is nice paint. You can see the gold cells already starting to form at the back, at the bottom of this puddle. I'm going to put some of the pearl, which is an old pearl. I mixed this a while ago, used it on a dark background. Looks very good. Wow, that looks really nice. Give it a few minutes to put a little bit more of this blue. No, we've got enough of the blue. I'm thinking another touch of this turquoisey sea green because it gives a really pretty contrast to the black. There you go. Don't put too much gold. Okay, let's put some on here. As you all know by now, I'm a very messy painter. That's why I don't call myself an artist. I'm more of a craftist or craftist. And we're going to blow torch around these to make sure. We'll give that a minute to settle. Wow, can you see how these the bubbles are starting to form around this cup? The cells are forming. I don't want to tilt it too much, so I don't want to lose a lot of the composition, but let's kind of swap this around. And as I explained, I'm going to swap over the two as though it's one canvas. Oh wow, there's gorgeous cells forming already. This is really stunning. Move this around, swap it around. Bring it over. Oops, where's my trash can? I'm going to hold this up for you for a second so you can have a good look what it looks like on the individual canvas. It's got beautiful cells forming. All right. This is going to be so gorgeous. I really want to keep a lot of negative white on the painting. So this is going to be a real fun one to tilt because we're going to go in all different directions. So let's clear the decks a little bit because I'm going to make a mess. Sure, we've got enough paint on the sides. I'm going to add a little bit more of the white paint here just to give it a little bit more coverage. I like it to go over the edges. Remember, the paint that comes off these pieces is not all paint, it's not all wasted. A lot of it is Floetrol and water and other mediums. All right, we are ready to start tilting. Goodness. I think it's I imagine that these will be hung vertically on the wall, so I'm going to tilt it in a... No, I'm going to tilt it. I'm going to give you a good view of the tilting. You can see all the beautiful cells that are created. Some of it's falling off. Wow. That is gorgeous. I don't want it to have too much coverage. I'm going to tilt it a little bit more in this direction. See how nicely those cells are holding? All right, let's do the other one. Wow, that is really pretty. Let's see what happens with this one. I'm going to just lean over it. I'm going to tilt it towards you so you can see all those beautiful cells. Tilt it around to try and maintain the integrity of the cells. Paint that's dripping off there is not an issue because we have plenty of extra coverage. We're going to go into this corner. Get it more over there, down to this edge. Do not want to lose those beautiful blue cells. I'm going to tilt in the other direction. All right, let's put a little bit of coverage down to the bottom, but we're going to leave quite a lot of white space. Very happy with this edge, not going to change anything up here. So I say, but I usually change my mind. So there we look. Gosh, this is really beautiful. Goodness. I do not want to over tilt. I don't want to fiddle with them too much. I did get covered in paint. That's okay. Now I think I'm going to I'm going to take this down in this direction for a little bit. I want to maintain those gold cells. This looks like a peacock. Once I get it into that white bucket, that white pool, I'm going to turn it all the way back. All right, now we're going to run it back this way. I love the solid black. A little bit of lacing is starting to happen over here. Let's get down a little further over there. This is stunning. I'm going to turn this around so you get a better view of what's going on. You can see how beautifully the paint has gone over the edge, and the edge will be like a frame. It is part of the painting. That's why I like the gallery wrap, kind of almost like a box frame or a shadow box. Got a little bit more into that black. That is giving it a beautiful look. I'm not going to mess with this one anymore other than to take off the excess and make sure there's enough paint on the edges, which there is. Goodness, that one is gorgeous. Let's have a look at this one. I'm going to need to hold this one up closely so you can actually see the lacing of this blue on the edge. Can you see that lacing over there? It's really beautiful. That one should dry beautifully. This is a real mixture of paint that I've used in a couple of different paintings, but it's really pretty. I am not going to mess with these anymore other than to torch them and to let them dry. I do want to turn them around so you can get a good look at them in their wet stage, and then next time around we will show you the dry one hanging on the wall. It's a little tricky because these are very long. These are 36-inch canvases, but we can do this. I'm going to get this one turned around, turn this one around. Okay, reposition them for you. Get a good look at this one, and that's just absolutely stunning. It's going to dry beautifully. Get a good look at this one. This one seems to have a little bit more coverage. So beautiful. Remember, I do these as a hobby. If any of you want these paintings, or if any of you would like to own one of these paintings, just let me know. I'd be happy to send it to you. I don't really charge for them. It's a hobby. Just send me your address and whatever. If you subscribe to my channel, be happy to send you the paintings. This is a diptych, so this is going to be a set of 2. So whoever gets this one gets double lucky. You can hang these together or near together, or even give them away. Before we go, I'm going to just do a little bit of touch up here. I just want to show you, you can always touch it. There's a little bit of space there that looks like it could do with more. Remember, this paint is it flattens out, it dries evenly, and it flattens out because of the Floetrol and the extenders that I put in the paint. So even if it looks a little bit lumpy in areas now, those areas will dry flat. So of course I've got paint on my feet. Alright, that's it. I can't wait to see how these dry. Let me know what you think. See you soon with video number 7.